Now, consciousness would be the manifestation of perception and memory and interaction through matter. As human beings, we are the most interactive and most deeply perceiving form of consciousness that the universe has created in order to perceive itself, because there is nothing but life. What is, and always has been, and always will be. And that is what we call creator, because we come from what we see with our eyes and perceive with our minds to be the universe. We do not come from outside of it. We are made from the elements of it. And in all of the infinite expanse of the universe, there comes in a galaxy, in an off arm, in a very nondescript location for which I cannot seem to find any particular pattern or reason for why it would be in this particular part of the universe, but this planet exists. And there are layers of complexity that add to a building, to the building of a structure that is at once dynamic and stable. And so we're talking about all of the gravitational forces that lead to the creation of this star, which is our soul, our solar, our main sun, which is a white, not a white dwarf. Well, maybe it is a white dwarf. It's a white star for sure, with just the right amount of heat and white light containing all of the possible colors in the visible light spectrum. So we already have that maximal exposure to all of the possible variations within this limited area of perception in terms of light. Then we have a planet upon which we reside that is at just the right distance so that liquid water and oxygen and all of the things that we depend on for our existence are able to be maintained in a stable fashion. And within this planet, we then have the building up of compounds, proteins, acids, and such that create what we understand to be biological organisms that are at once both dynamic in the sense that they move, they process, they do things, and at the same time they're stable, meaning that they maintain their structure. It's not just random activity that disperses. It's activity that cycles and is able to draw from the environment in a way that is perhaps akin to gravity, taking in only what it needs and rejecting what it does not. And then these structures become more complicated, more complex, until eventually we reach life forms of such a high complexity that we find the human being on this planet. And I can only surmise that there is a basic sort of consciousness, awareness, something that is beyond consciousness and beyond awareness, and yet in some way akin in that direction of things, that guided and sustains what is currently here. And we are the manifestation of that intelligence which creates, sustains, guides all of this. And we perceive for its sake. It is I am, and this construct that is currently making this video um, is an offshoot of that consciousness that perceives itself as if from the outside, even though there is no outside. Life life is what it is for its own sake. It is its own reason for being and will always be. And we are, I am.